mambo ya uongo ili kuharibia nchi yako. Mimi nataka kusema hapa wazi, Kenya is not under any threat from Somalia or any regional force from Somalia. The only threat we face as a country is the threat of Al-Shabaab.
And in the county of Nairobi, a group of women in the city has condemned both security agencies and Nairobi County leadership, accusing them of failing to safeguard residents from growing lawlessness. The women warn that if the situation is not contained, investors could be driven away, dealing a blow to the city's economy. They went on to accuse politicians of fueling the unrest by handing money to youths during protests under the guise of maintaining security. According to women, the criminal gangs are harassing them as they go about their daily activities, making life in the city unbearable.
Insecurity in Nairobi is just one thing. Watoto wanaua wengine, wanapiga wengine, wananyang'anya wamama, na wananyang'anya wamama in broad daylight, mchana peupe. Polisi ndio wamejaribu, lakini sasa polisi na sisi pia activists tumewaweka rada. Wakishika hawa wakipeleka ndani, tunaenda kuwatoa. Ile kitu nashangaa ni kwamba wewe mtoto ameua, mtoto amefanya dhambi, unaenda kumtetea na unasema polisi ndio mbaya. Polisi ni mama, polisi ni watoto wetu.
Street families zimejaa town. Hizo street families wajue vile wamejana, hao ndio wale watoto wamezaliwa hapo, wamekuwa wajasoma, wajenda pale pengine pia ndio wanachangia katika nini, katika mambo ya wizi katika town. So pia ajue vile street families watakuwa sorted. Kama ni watoto wachanga wachukuliwa pelekwe children's home, wa mama wajue vile watafanya. Street families wamejaa town na pia wanachangia kufanya town inakuwa chafu.
And still on matter security, police have arrested 214 suspects in connection with the crime within Nairobi Central Business District. Nairobi County Police Commandant George Seda says the suspects are currently being processed for arraignment. Seda further warned that crime is not just happening on the street but also online, issuing a stern caution to TikTok content creators who exploit security incidents for clout and in the process mislead the public. He added that many of the alleged attacks shared on social media remain unreported to the police, casting doubt on the authenticity.
What I can say for those people whose intentions are not good for this city, by so magnifying issues through various channels, we as a policing agency, we have got all resources which we have employed now with a view of getting those perpetrators. We call them perpetrators because they have made people to be in fear. We are catching up with them. CBD is safe. That's my assurance, CBD is safe. Businesses are going on as usual. Businesses are going on as usual. Police visibility is enhanced as usual. And the police visibility contains all agencies of police which are supposed to undertake the various aspects of ensuring this city is very safe.
And on to other stories, religious leaders, government officials and community leaders today held a peace conference in Nairobi focused on finding religious-based solution to counter extremist ideologies among the youth. Stakeholders emphasized the need for communities to be sensitized on the dangers of radicalization and call for greater collaboration between faith leaders and security agencies in sustaining peace across the country. The forum comes at a time when Kenya continues to grapple with security challenges.
We must engage next KAYESI and take that narrative down there. The people that
this summit is very important to the young people. Violent extremism preys on vulnerabilities that directly affects the young people. Matters of unemployment, different social cultural factors, matters of historical injustices. And this summit is very important because it is giving the young people a platform to not just come together, but to stamp authority that they can be part of the solution.
My call to the government is that we don't need more conversation. Kenya is full of conversations that have taken place, recommendations made, but they are not implemented. And anytime we tell the youth come in for another meeting, they say, to do what? We are wasting resources which will be supporting one young person or two to get some skills. So I think the time for talking is gone. This is the time for action.
Well, it's 16 minutes past the hour. Time for us to take a short commercial break. We will be back shortly. DCP party leaders are hitting out at both Nairobians the development they fully deserve. They argue that under Sakaja's leadership, the city has lagged behind budget while insecurity continued to plague city dwellers, calling on both levels of government to give room for accountability process.
Prime Minister to live up to the letter and the spirit of the Constitution by allowing the MCAs to exercise their constitutional role.
Je, nataka kuuliza President, last week ulituambia kwamba utachukua jukumu la kuwaleta wale ambao ni wafisadi, ambao ni members of parliament, utawaleta kwa judgment. Je, au MP na ile kitu yenye unaongea kwa media, je ni tofauti na ile yenye
He should be responsible and take up his responsibilities, because when we look at bursaries, he stopped giving out bursaries like the last 2 years. Yeah, the projects are still, he's not even paying contractor. So how is he working and he's not even taking care of his own
And still on matters politics, Manyata Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji has today been acquitted of charges by the Kahawa Law Courts. The case had drawn intense reactions from both politicians and the members of the public, but last month's hearing was postponed after the prosecution failed to provide sufficient evidence. Mukunji had been accused of funding the Sabasaba protest held in the month of July this year.
Is long, but it bends towards justice. And I want to first say that this has brought to an end a very trying time of close to 2 months since I stepped foot in this Kahawa Law Courts that is meant for terrorists. I first want to appreciate in a very deep way God, because I'm told I was not even supposed to be brought to Kahawa Law Courts. I was supposed to be killed. And they were unable to kill me, courtesy of a presence of a journalist who was God sent. And that, when that did not materialize, they decided to give me the biggest of the offenses that they could get, which is the terrorist charges, with no basis whatsoever. And today I want to thank God that I'm here as a free man, having been told to take my cash bill, to take my belongings, and to actually go on with my life, while the ODPP, even knowing that, still was insisting that he is concluding on some other matters. And I want to thank the courts. I believe in the courts of this country. They have proven themselves. They have shown that we can trust the justice system of our nation. I want to appeal to anybody working in the judiciary to please uphold that part of serving Kenyans that other people are not doing. I also want to, in a very special way, to appreciate mawakili. Mimi nataka kushukuru from the bottom of my heart. Sometimes I listen to arguments, they will not make sense. But the lawyers I have had, and that we have had with the team that I was arrested with, have actually argued our case fairly, rightly, and they are pushed for justice when we could least expect it. I want to appreciate all of them, starting from Senior Counsel Kalonzo Musyoka, Senior Counsel Kibe Mungai, wakili Ndegwa Njiru, wakili Kungu, wakili Ireri, wakili Kiragu, and many lawyers that we have had here. And they argued their case fairly, knowing that.
And in the fight against corruption, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Chairperson Dr. David Oginde is calling for greater collaboration among anti-graft agencies to ensure cases taken to court are successfully prosecuted. Speaking at a forum organized by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, Oginde called on Kenyans to be at the forefront in the war against graft. The Deputy Auditor General also underscored the critical role that citizens play in ensuring accountability and transparency.
The office of the DPP finds that there is not enough evidence, they can come back and that can be discussed so that we see where are the weak areas so that we make this case watertight. The process is there, collaboration is there, and therefore a case should not go to court and then you say you withdraw it because there's lack of evidence, because you had looked at that case, you had identified any areas that are of weakness, and if there is lack of evidence, we can always go back and find out whether we can tighten the case, and normally that happens.
We came up with a framework on implementing or rolling out citizen accountability audit, sometimes you call it social audit. We ended up having memorandum of understanding with institutions like Transparency International and NTA. I think it's just a matter of reviving this because we've seen that audit is moving towards citizen-centric, because we cannot reach some of those far-flanking projects at the corner of, say, Turkana. And we can only rely on technology one, like geosensing, or collaborating with the citizens so that we can actually get to audit for impact.
Remember, as accountants, we are the moral compass of this calling, and the calling is our profession. Again, as accountants, we are known as the stewards of public trust. And again, looking at our credo, the CPA, it stands for credibility, professionalism, and accountability.
And on matters health, 3 mpox cases confirmed in Nyandarua County as health officials call on Kenyans have confirmed 3 cases of the dangerous mpox disease. 1 patient is currently admitted at Engineer Level 4 Hospital, while 2 others are receiving treatment at the Nyahururu County Hospital. Authorities say they are closely monitoring the situation and have assured residents that containment measures are already in place to prevent further spread of the disease.
Have already confirmed 2 cases of mpox, which is a couple, a man and a wife, who are admitted in Nyahururu in isolation. They also have their 2 children, a child who is 3 years old and another one 3 months old. The children are not sick. They are not ailing, but the parents, that is the father and the mother, the samples collected have confirmed.
And police officers, in collaboration with the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, have arrested 10 suspects believed to be involved in drug trafficking in Shinalu and Ikolomani areas of Kakamega County. During the operation, officers seized and destroyed cannabis worth $500,000 shillings, along with more than 3,000 liters of illicit brews, including Changa and Kangara. NACADA Chief Executive Officer Anthony Omeriko has warned Kakamega residents against engaging in illegal drug and alcohol business. The 10 suspects are being held at Kakamega Police Station and are expected to be arraigned in court.
What I'll encourage these individuals here, the same effort they use, the operation that was going here is very sophisticated. If somebody could use even half of that energy to plant beans, I think the outcome would be better. Number one, these are legal drugs, but when it crosses over to being abused, that's where the line is drawn. Secondly, as NACADA, we never used to license molasses. It used to be licensed by the main government, but not us. But now the licensing of molasses is being done by the county. It is being licensed not for the purposes of producing changa. And as you can see, they're using it to produce changa, which is illegal.
And on to other stories, a section of the Muslim community today staged peaceful demonstrations in Nairobi Central Business District, demanding fresh election for the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslim SUPKEM leadership across the country. The protesters accused current leaders, who they say have remained in office since the year 2017, of corruption and overstaying their mandate. Addressing journalists outside Sharia House, Muslim leaders also criticized the office of the Attorney General for failing to ensure that SUPKEM elections are held every 4 years as required by the Constitution.
Wanakula pesa yote ya msaada yenye inaingia kwa hiyo ofisi, hao ndo wanakula. Sisi Kenya tunaomba ni SUPKEM iende, Olenado aende, ufisadi iende. Tunaomba uchaguzi upya.
And we've come to the end of our bulletin for today from our team here at EBN TV, led by our sign language interpreter Laura Omondi. We are wishing you a lovely night. See you next time.
Sometimes people see you, and sometimes, you know, in honor to what God is doing to our lives, people may want to accord some godlike worship, and we tell them, no, I appreciate you the way you are. You are raising one